Hello and welcome. In this guide from us here at My Tax Accountant, we're going to break down everything you need to know about Class 2 national insurance for the 2025/26 tax year. We'll make it super clear, simple, and hopefully really useful. So, are you self-employed, maybe a freelancer, a sole trader, a small business owner? And are you feeling just a little bit confused about the recent national insurance changes? Well, if you are, trust me, you are not alone. The rules have shifted and it's left a lot of people scratching their heads. But don't you worry, we're about to clear all of that up for you right now. Okay, so here's what we've got on the cards. First, we'll tackle the big question on everyone's mind, and then we'll break down the new rules. After that, we'll get into why your NI record is so important, show you exactly how to pay, point out some common mistakes to avoid, and finally, tell you where you can get some expert help. Right, let's get into it. Okay, let's dive in. Just imagine a self-employed plumber in Birmingham sitting down to do her accounts. She's probably thinking, right, do I still need to pay that weekly Class 2 national insurance thing? It is, without a doubt, the #1 question we're hearing at the moment, especially after this recent shakeup. And this is why everyone's confused. This is the big change. Back in the 2023 autumn statement, the government announced that for most self-employed folks, the requirement to make those mandatory Class 2 payments was being removed. Now, this was designed to make tax simpler, but, well, it's also created a whole new set of questions. So let's get to the heart of it, shall we? What do these new rules actually mean for you and your profits this tax year? Well, it all really boils down to one thing: how much you earn. Let's take a look at the actual numbers. Okay, this table really simplifies everything for the 2025/26 tax year. Let's break it down. If your profits are under £6,845, paying is now voluntary. It's up to you. Now, if you earn between £6,845 and £12,570, your contributions are deemed paid. Fancy term, I know. It just means you get the credit on your record without actually paying a penny. And if you're earning over £12,570, it's exactly the same for Class 2, but you will start paying Class 4 NI. So the main thing to remember, if you earn over £6,845, that Class 2 credit is automatic. Right, so if you're earning less than that £6,845 threshold, you might be thinking, brilliant, I don't have to pay anything. But hold on a second. This is so much more than just a tax payment. Having a complete national insurance record is absolutely crucial for your future. Gaps in that record can have some pretty serious consequences for things like your state pension. So what does it actually cost to protect your future? Well, for this tax year, it's just this, £3.50 a week. I mean, that's less than a fancy coffee, right? This tiny voluntary payment secures a full qualifying year on your NI record. Honestly, it's probably one of the best and most affordable insurance policies you can get for your financial future. And look at that over a full year. That weekly payment adds up to just £182. Let that sink in for a moment. For less than 200 quid, you are buying a foundational building block for your entire state pension. It's an incredibly powerful investment in the person you're going to be one day. And here it is. This is the prize. This is what that tiny investment is protecting. The full state pension is $221.20 every single week. That's over £11,500 a year. All of a sudden, that $182 payment looks incredibly small when you see what it's actually securing for you, doesn't it? The return on investment here is just massive. And this is where it really hits home for people. We had a client at My Tax Accountant, a freelance writer from Manchester called Sarah. Her profits were sitting around £5,000. As soon as she understood the numbers we just went through, paying that voluntary £182 was, and I quote, a complete no-brainer to protect her retirement. All right, here's a quick pro tip for you. Please don't guess about your situation. You can go onto the gov.uk website right now and check your national insurance record. Completely free, it'll show you if you've got any gaps, and you can even get a forecast for your state pension. It only takes a few minutes, and it gives you total, crystal clear clarity. So, you've checked your record and you've decided, yep, I need to pay. The next logical question is, how do you actually do it? Let's walk through the practical steps to get this all sorted out. Basically, you've got two main routes, and it really depends on your situation. If you're already doing self-assessment tax returns, the easiest way is just to pay it along with your annual tax bill. Simple. But if your profits are low and you don't have to file a return, you can register to pay voluntarily directly to HMRC. It's really important to know which path is yours, because the deadlines and the reference numbers you need to use are totally different. So if you're paying directly, it's a nice and simple 4-step process. First, you register online. Then HMRC will send you a bill with a unique 18-digit reference number. This is super important, so keep it safe. After that, you just choose how you want to pay: online banking, direct debit, whatever works for you, and make the payment using that reference number. It's all very straightforward. We've covered the what, the why, and the how, but it is just as important to know about the common pitfalls. Now, stay with me here because this next point might surprise you. This is where we see people make the most frequent and costly mistakes. One of the biggest traps is for people who have more than one income stream. You might have a main paid job and think, oh, my national insurance is all sorted. But that's not always the case. Take this example: a teacher in Leeds who also did some private tutoring on the side. She just assumed her school's salary covered everything. But her low tutoring profits created a gap in her NI record that she only found out about years down the line.
And that's not all. If you're in a partnership, remember your profit share is looked at individually, not the business's total profit. It's also possible to overpay if you've got a PAE job and a side hustle, but please, whatever you do, watch the deadlines. If you miss the window to pay the voluntary Class 2 rate, you could be forced to pay the much, much more expensive Class 3 rate, which is over 17 quid a week.
Okay, here's another incredibly valuable pro tip for you. If you've just checked your record and, oh no, you've discovered you have gaps from previous years, please don't panic. In most cases, HMRC will let you make backdated voluntary Class 2 contributions for the last 6 tax years. This can be a really cost-effective way to fix your record and give that pension forecast a nice boost.
Phew! We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From the new rules to how to pay and what not to do. And while this guide gives you a really strong foundation, everyone's financial situation is unique. Sometimes it really pays to get some professional advice. So let's just quickly recap the absolute must-know points. If your profits are over £6,845, your Class 2 is automatically credited. If they're below that, you should seriously think about paying that voluntary £3.50 a week. Remember, that tiny payment protects your massive future state pension. The most important action you can take today is to check your record online. And finally, know your payment route, either self-assessment or directly to HMRC. Look, if you're feeling even a little bit unsure about any of this, or maybe you have a more complicated situation, maybe multiple income streams, a partnership, or anything else, please don't just guess. The team here at My Tax Accountant are experts in this stuff and can give you clear, personalized advice. You can reach them on WhatsApp or give them a call on 07854 255 375, or just drop them an email at info@mytaxaccountant.co.uk. And that leaves us with one final, really important question for you to think about. Is your financial future fully protected? A small action today, like checking your NI record or making a quick phone call, could honestly make all the difference in the world down the line. Thank you so much for joining us. If you found this guide helpful, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel for more clear and simple guides on all things tax. We look forward to seeing you in the next one.